The crypto market woke up in a big way in the last 24 hours. XRP made a name for itself by going all the way up to $263.00 at one point. Right now, it's just a little less valuable than Tether by about $2 billion, 0 cents. This is still a very good sign that things will get better later this year, though. The market is going to keep going up, and there may be small bumps in the road where we have a nice little sell-off or adjustment. I think we will go much higher from here on out, though, because of how things look with the tax talks and the trade war in general. Trump pretty much confirmed that the bull run will continue, which I talked about in a video earlier today. We have a lot more to look forward to in the future besides the deal between the US and China. Let's take a look at XRP, which is worth about $247.00 right now. Again, there was a nice little drop from the $263.00 mark. If we look at the candle itself, it was close to the all-time high from December 1st. This is where the lights went out, which means we were close to that level. You can see that we ran into a lot of trouble. However, the total trade volume went up by more than 189% today, which is equal to almost $11 billion. This was really amazing to see, but there's a big wake-up call in the market, which is something we love to see. When I look at the picture, I can see two possible events. First, we sell back into the demand zone and make a higher low. This is a move away from the lows we've seen so far on this figure. The first low point was in April, and the second low point was around the start of May. And if you want to know where a high point would be, it would be around $2.22. You could even use the same plan from the 10th and 11th to do it again. That same pattern might start to show up here too. The next big push will happen when we get a daily close above $2.00 and around 55, which are the levels from the end of March. I'm keeping a close eye on this to see which situation comes up. We'll keep going from now, whether we see this pattern again or that nice little sell-off into the higher low structure. I really don't care which way it goes because I already know what will happen. Things are getting a lot better with XRP. I still think it's ready for a much bigger move. The next big move needs to break through this March resistance level. For now, we just need to wait for the structure to form and get that close up on top of it. On a different note, let's look at what's going on with XRP since that move was pretty big. We're up about 14.5% in the last month, 16.1% in the last week, and about the same amount every day, and up about 4.1% or a little more than 5%. However, XRP made a big move and did better than most of the top 100. This is because of all the new news about XRP. The Florida pharmaceutical company Us.Thankx was the first big one because it proved that XRP could be used for real-time payments, and a $50 million 0 cents loan deal. This one was important and showed how useful XRP really is. Also, we got a pretty big update. It might be the first state to get rid of the capital gains tax on stocks, Bitcoin, and XRP. It looks like Missouri could be the first state in the U.S. to get rid of all capital gains taxes soon. This will be very good for people who own crypto stocks and homes for sale in Missouri. The state assembly passed House Bill 5094, which now needs to be signed by Governor Mike Keogh. If it is signed, people would be able to remove all of their capital gains from their salaries. This includes gains from digital assets like Bitcoin and even XRP. At the time they wrote this, Bitcoin was worth more than $1,040, 0 cents K, while XRP stayed the same at $2.38. We got this report from the Florida pharmaceutical company a few days ago, along with news that XRP might not have to pay capital gains tax anymore, stocks, Bitcoin, and other things. We also learned some new things about TradFi, which was the China deal. All of these things made XRP stronger. But what's crazy about this tax bill is that if it all passes, it could become a big deal. I think more states will decide to join. And I also think this might be a good idea for everyone in the US. We know that Trump has brought up the idea and talked about it, by the way. It could be very bullish for both coins and stocks, and it would get him a lot farther. But it also makes me think of what Eric Trump said at the beginning of December. Crypto will not be taxed in the US. People have gone to war against cryptocurrency. They've sued everyone, and the SEC used to go after them. Ricky went on to say that the XRP community and the Ripple team believe that Donald Trump has the best plan for making the United States is the world's Bitcoin capital. Trump said he would add cryptocurrency to the US Treasury and exempt it from taxes. The US is no longer at war with crypto. This happened at the beginning of December. Take a look at these groups that have gone to war with cryptocurrency. There's no doubt that people in the US have gone to war against Bitcoin. They've sued everyone, including the SEC. They've started a war and they tried to tax them. Someone promised to add crypto to the US Treasury and not tax crypto. Think about all of these amazing things. It's also clear that this has something to do with sales. It's possible, but I still think crypto will be tax-free in the end because of the current tech race. That happens with XRP, for example. It would make the prices of XRP and Bitcoin go up a lot. Besides that, XRP is now past Tether to become the third most popular cryptocurrency. Its value is back above $261.00 for the first time since March 6th. The well-known currency has been slowly pulling away from the others for a number of reasons. House Bill 594 would make Missouri the first state in the U.S. to offer a final, or better yet, a full income tax credit on all capital gains, even Bitcoin and XRP profits. The number of people who own XRP has grown by more than 11% so far in 2025. You can now use XRP as a payment method on Travala. The number of people holding XRP is getting close to 6.5 million, which is the first time in the network's more than 12-year history that this has happened. Also, since the start of 2025, the number of XRP wallets that are not empty has grown by over 638,000, which shows that there is a big wave of people getting together around XRP. Honestly, not only is it very good, but the crypto market as a whole is also very bullish. I've said this many times, especially about the China deal, which seems like one of the most important ones to look into. What about BlackRock? There's been some talk about whether or not we should do it. After BlackRock met with the SEC today to talk about crypto, they talked about tokenization and some things that have to do with ETFs. Now, everyone is wondering if BlackRock will release an XRP ETF. Listen, we don't know what will happen, but one thing I have made clear is that as soon as BlackRock files for an XRP ETF, the ETF around XRP